Welcome to Inside Talk Show. I'm Carla Elizondo. We are on the last chapter of The Power of Awareness. Can you believe it? I can't. Well, it is titled Reverence, chapter 27. There's so many chapters in this book, but like you've noticed, they're literally one page, page and a half. They're very short and concise, but packed, jam-packed full of wisdom and mind-blowing concepts that really help navigate the world and our thoughts. The real world, the inside world. It's an inside job. All right, Reverence, chapter 27, from The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Never wouldst thou have made anything if thou hadst not loved it. In all creation, in all eternity, in all the realms of your infinite being, the most wonderful fact is that which is stressed in the first chapter of this book. You are God. You are the I am, that I am. You are consciousness. You are the creator. This is the mystery that is the great secret known by the seers, prophets, and mystics throughout the ages. This is the truth that you can never know intellectually. Who is this you? That it is you, John Jones or Mary Smith, is absurd. It is your greater self, your deeper self, your infinite being. Call it what you will. The important thing is that it is within you. It is you. It is your world. It is this fact that underlies the immutable law of assumption. It is upon this fact that your very existence is built. It is this fact that is the foundation of every chapter of this book. No, you cannot know this intellectually. You cannot debate it. You cannot substantiate it. You can only feel it. You can only be aware of it. Becoming aware of it, one great emotion permeates your being. You live with a perpetual feeling of reverence. The knowledge that your creator is the very self you yourself, the very self of yourself. Let me read that again. So the knowledge that your creator is the very self of yourself and never would have made you had he not loved you must fill your heart with devotion, yes, with adoration. One knowing glimpse of the world about you at any single instant of time is sufficient to fill you with profound awe and a feeling of worship. It is when your feeling of reverence is most intense that you are closest to God. And when you are closest to God, your life is richest. Our deepest feelings are precisely those that we are least able to express. And even in the act of adoration, silence is our highest praise. That is the most beautiful chapter of this book. And I know that's why it's at the end. So let's get the obvious out of the way. Carla, I'm really uncomfortable with you calling me God or saying that we are God. I definitely had a little squirminess when it comes to this. But as Neville, if we listen to what Neville says, the Father and I are one. The Lord, God, is within us, but it is greater than us. The Father and I are one, but the Father is greater than I. I have God-like power, but I am not God. God created us. We have the same power as God, but we are not God. God-like ability. I remember when we read this in the morning, we were all kind of speechless, and it just it was so apropos. Just the feeling of devotion, adoration, reverence, worship, all of these things which are associated with religious lingo, but you don't have to be religious to experience the feeling of reverence, devotion. That really is ineffable. You can't describe it. It's just silence. Words can't describe the beautiful feeling. So when you become aware of it, one great emotion permeates your being. You live with a perpetual feeling of reverence. The knowledge that your creator is the very self of yourself and never would have made you if he had not loved you must fill your heart with devotion and adoration. One knowing glimpse of the world about you at any single instant of time is sufficient to fill you with profound awe and a feeling of worship. It is when your feeling of reverence is most intense that you are closest to God. And when you are closest to God, your life is richest. I personally feel like that is all of our wants, our deepest journey, to know ourselves, because ourselves is God. So when people ask me, how do you describe God? What do you think God is? It's as if they are asking me who they are. I can't tell them. I experience it differently. I myself am a unique expression of God, I believe, of all the power that is. Like I talked about, the cup, I am just a cup of God. I am a piece, as are you, as is everybody. So it's a very private, personal, quiet, inner reverence and a knowing. It says, you cannot know this intellectually. It's a deeper knowing. You can't debate it, talk about it, tell anybody about it. You can't substantiate it. You can only feel it. You can only be aware of it. So really, there are no words. And it says, our deepest feelings are precisely those that we are least able to express. The ineffable. When you have experienced the most beautiful, if you've been on like a hike in nature and you get to the top and it's just like, oh, you gasp, it's silence. And if someone tries to say, well, look at that, it's like, shut up, shh, you're ruining the moment. Or with your children, or with your lover, or with nature. Silence is the only way, because you can just feel it. No words. You don't have to explain it. It kind of just shuts us up. It shuts this intellectual mind up, and it gets into that emotional mind, the subconscious. So our deepest feelings are precisely those that are least able to express. And even in that act of adoration, silence is our highest praise. Silence is the highest praise. Every time I don't even know what to say. Reverence. I love that word. Words have power. Don't you love that word? I'm going to look it up. Reverence. Reverence. It says a feeling or attitude of deep respect, tinged with awe, veneration, the outward manifestation of this feeling, a gesture indicative of deep respect, to bow or to curtsy. Yeah, to bow. Remember, bend the knee. It forces us to just bend the knee and realize how small we really are. I think I shared the story before. I spent some time in Costa Rica, and there was like in the jungle part, really jungly, not these California beaches I was raised on where there's wires and buildings and planes with messages flying by and a bunch of people. They were private, unspoiled, natural ass beaches, really secluded. And not a lot of people were there. And I think it was Mother's Day, like 2013. And I was literally by myself on this whole beach. And I just remember looking out on the ocean. And I think a storm was far off in the distance, and it was a little gray, and there was like a big lightning bolt like you saw on like National Geographic. I really don't see weather a lot. I grew up in California, and just to see this huge lightning bolt in the ocean. And I was alone, and it was quiet, and I was like, I was in awe at that moment. Like whew, this knowing went into me. Like I did want to bow, like the inside of me. That's reverence to something so much bigger than me. That's God to me. I was like, whoa, I'm an ant. I am nothing. It was a really profound experience. So reverence, yeah. Awe, devotion, loyalty, respect, honor, love. I love all of these words. So having a reverence for life, and sometimes when it's so good, silence is the highest praise. No words need to be said. when you're with someone and you don't really have to say anything because it's so good. Any words would spoil it. Well, I don't have much to say on this one. I hope you enjoyed this reading of The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. I love this book so much. And I hope you enjoyed it too. If you want to catch the replays, they're all here posted. I have them on YouTube. I have them here on Instagram. And like always, if you ever have any questions, message me. And I look forward to continuing the next reading. I don't know what it's going to be. It'll be a surprise. It'll be Monday. Oh, no, it'll be Friday, tomorrow. I'll start a new one tomorrow. How about that? All right. Have a wonderful Thursday, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.